Hello students and welcome to the channel Online Study for You. In today's session we are going to talk about anxiety, the mental pressure, the stress which actually hinders maximum of the students. So today we are going to discuss about the correct strategy while appearing for your TCS NQT 2020. As you know that TCS NQT test is the national level test conducted by TCS to hire graduates passing out in the year 2020. So, I hope after this session you will be able to handle the stress, harness your energy well and perform extremely well during your exam. So, first of all, let's take a quick look at the test pattern. So, here is the test pattern for TCS National Qualifier Test. This is very important because without knowing the exact test pattern, we cannot discuss our time management during the exam. As you can see, the test has been divided into 4 sections named as English section, next is quantitative aptitude, third is CMCQ, your programming language based questions, and fourth is your coding ability. In English section there will be 15 questions and only 10 minutes will be given to you to solve these 15 questions. For quantitative aptitude, if I'll talk about, then you have to attempt 15 questions in just 30 minutes. Similarly, for MCQ based on programming language, 10 questions would be there and you will be given 20 minutes to solve these questions. And for coding ability, you will be given just a one problem statement and 30 minutes, half an hour will be given to you. So use this time wisely during the exam. So in total, if I'll talk about, there would be 41 questions and 90 minutes will be given to you to solve the entire paper. So now first of all, we'll come across the very frequent asked question, is there any negative marking? Yes, apart from the division of the questions between sections, there is another division which is based on the types of the questions asked in your exam, and it is of two types. One is MCQ type and another is FUB type. Now let us check out first what is MCQ type. As you know, in this multiple choice questions there will be 4 options given to you and only one option will be correct. So you have to choose that correct option, and this section will have negative marking, and that too of 0.33 marks. And for the very exact correct answer, you will be given +1 mark. And there is negative marking, that is 0.33 marks if you are not taking the exact or the correct option while during the attempt of this type of question. Now let us talk about that is FUB type. This is also known as the fill up the box questions, which till the last year were called as advanced questions. This time TCS has changed the name and it is called as FUB type. And these type of questions will not have any option for you, and there will be just a box where you have to enter your answer. But the good news is these questions don't have any negative marking, and moreover for each correct answer you will be awarded with +2 marks. So please keep this fact in your mind. For MCQ type there is negative marking, but for FUB type there is no negative marking. So you can take a little bit of risk while during the attempt of FUB type questions, but for the MCQ type questions, if you are not sure, please don't go for the choice because it will turn your positives into negatives. Okay, so moving ahead, before I should explain the exact strategy for each section during your exam, let us have a quick look at the number of questions from each section which have been divided into these two types of questions, that is MCQ and FUB. For English section, these total 15 questions will be expected from MCQ type only, not FUB type. For quant section, it can be apprehensive or it can be expected among these 15 questions, 10 will be from MCQ type and 5 would be of FUB type. And from the programming logic MCQ questions, among the 10 questions, 7 will be of MCQ type and 3 will be of FUB type. And for coding ability, you know that one problem would be there based on your coding problems. Okay, so let us discuss the exact strategy while attempting these 4 sections in the exam. So let us discuss about your entire exam but divided into 4 sections. So let us first take your first section, that is quantitative aptitude. If I talk about quantitative aptitude and the particular topics in the quantitative aptitude, so from allegation, mixture, work in time, ratio and proportion, average, and the questions problem of ages, one question is expected from each section and that too of moderate level. And time you should invest for each question, it will be from 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And for geometry portion, there can be 2 questions and that too of high level, but if you learn the basic formulas well and move as per your standard formula approach, it will be easy for you. For case of divisibility, percentage level will be very simple, but you have to work on your calculation part. And one thing I should recommend you, for lengthiest statements, try to use elimination method. Try to develop a logic during those questions, how to eliminate those options which are not suitable and which are not guiding you to take the correct solution for the question. So try to develop a logic here, that way also, where you can eliminate such options which are not relevant to your answer. It will help you out to tackle the problems very quickly, very effectively and very efficiently. Similarly, if I talk about for English, you can see that only 10 minutes are given to you. And the basic portion here is that most confusing words are the most difficult skill in this one. You will get options like put out, put off, affect, effect, advice and advice, and you have to choose the correct one that suits the sentence well. And in this case, in English section, all the 15 questions will be expected of MCQ type, so there is a high chance of negative marking over there. Avoid negative marking in this section as well. And please don't be overconfident in this section. So next we'll talk about your coding section and your MCQ section, which is based on your programming language. I'll suggest you not to freak out if you don't understand first. In first go, maybe you are not getting the exact solution. Read everything once and then when you read it again, things will start to make sense. And before entering into your examination hall, first revise your command line programming and try to pay a visit to the sample questions which are generally being asked in your TCS tests. Okay. Here are some do's and don'ts which you should follow religiously while appearing for the exam. First of all, give a look to all the questions in the paper and select which are easier for you. which are demanding less time from you to solve them, so that you can steal the time from there and you can use that time for the difficult ones. Okay, next, attempt those easier questions and those less time consuming questions in the first go and then take the tougher ones. Next, read your questions very carefully and with complete concentration. Please avoid the guesswork here. Don't try to jump to the conclusion without getting proper statement in your mind. Next, you have to maintain your speed while solving the questions. How you are going to maintain that speed? Use your short tricks wherever possible. We have been taught you several short tricks while appearing for quantitative aptitude in our mock test series as well, in our videos as well. So you can save the time from there and you can utilize that time for another questions. And there are certain things which you should not do during the exam. What are these? First of all, avoid being negative. Don't get too depressed if you are not getting 1 or 2 questions at that time. Secondly, don't give more than 1.40 minutes to a single question. If you are not getting any idea of that question, leave it once. Next, avoid getting stuck with single question. If you are not able to solve in one attempt, you can't do it in the second chance too, because your mental level is set now that you are not getting this question. So don't get stuck with that question. Try to jump to another question. Second, avoid using risky short tricks. See, I am saying you to use short tricks, but only then if your concepts are very much clear about that concept. If your concepts are not clear, don't use the short trick ones. Use your conventional method. It will be a bit lengthy, but it will yield in a positive way. Otherwise, your positive score will turn out to negative. Next, keep in mind that negative marking is there, so avoid the guesswork in MCQ type questions. Please avoid negative marking as much as possible for you. That's all, students, for this session. I'll just wish that on the day of examination, all things will be in your favor. Be cool, be strategic at that time, avoid clumsiness, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So all the best to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone.